Hey, Walter Sorrells back with more tips for the knife maker. Today, TIG welding for super cheap. Is it reality or rip-off? So, is it possible to get into TIG welding for ultra cheap money? The answer is actually a little complicated. Today, we're going to be reviewing this, the Vevor 3-in-1 TIG welder, an extremely cheap TIG welder. Now, before I get into the heart of the review, I'll tell you a little bit about why I got this model and what I was hoping to accomplish with it. Now, before that, let me give you the short review though. It's 184 bucks and it works pretty darn well. So, yeah. Okay, now, backstory. If you just stumbled onto my channel, I am not a pro welder, obviously, I'm a knife maker. So I come at this from the perspective of a non-welder who wants to kind of up his welding game for not much money. Now, for the past 20 odd years, I've had a Lincoln flux core welder, which is basically a MIG welder without shielding gas. This makes it extremely functional, extremely cheap, extremely simple to operate, and it produces the most horrible looking welds imaginable. For most knife making stuff, you know, sticking Damascus billets together didn't matter. But, you know, I'm going to be starting to produce some knife making products that will require a small amount of welding, and I figured, you know, I would try out an inexpensive TIG welder and hopefully get better looking welds on these products. Now, if you're already a welder and know a good bit about welding, you can probably skip into the review proper right here, wherever that is. But if welding's something that you don't know too much about, it's worth pointing out that the virtue of TIG is that, you know, if you know what you're doing, it's capable of producing the nicest looking welds of any welding technique. So that's kind of my rationale for getting one. Again, for novices, quickly, the way that TIG works, you have this little handle. There is a consumable tungsten rod, which is this right here, and those go into the center of this. Electricity goes through the handle, and then you have argon shielding gas that goes out through this little cup. It comes up through here, out this little cup, and that creates a little pocket of gas around whatever it is that you're welding. So that keeps scaling and oxidization down. You also have filler rod that you can use to fill the gap between the two pieces that you're welding, and it all sticks together and you get a nice weld. You know, clean weld, happy weld. Now here is what I did not entirely think through on my quest for ultra cheap, ultra beautiful welds. And honestly, you know, this is something to consider if you're evaluating any kind of welding, MIG, TIG, stick, gas welding, whatever it might be, is that buying the welder is just the beginning. There's a whole lot of other stuff that goes into it. In my case, I not only had to acquire the welder itself, which, full disclosure, Vevor sent to me for free, but I also had to get a box of tungsten electrodes. That's this right here. I had to get an argon cylinder. I had to get the argon to actually go in the cylinder, an argon regulator, some upgraded hose clamps, stick welding rods, more on that later, TIG welding, filler rod, just all this consumable stuff. And, you know, I also got an improved helmet over the horrible 20-year-old one that I had. So it all adds up. Bottom line, I spent about $1,000. So a quote-unquote $184 welder turns into, you know, a $1,000 investment. Can you do it cheaper? Yes, but not by a ton. So that's just something to be aware of if you want to get into TIG. And it's true of MIG and whatever else too. There's always more than just the box. And no, if you want to do TIG, you cannot run this welder without each and every item that I mentioned. Caveat to that when we get to stick welding, which we'll get to in a minute. Okay, so at last, let's talk about the welder itself. This is the Vevor 3-in-1 welder, and as the name implies, it's capable of operating on 3 modes. First, you can use it as a stick welder. Second, regular old DC TIG, and then pulse TIG. As I said, at this moment, Present list price, 184 bucks US, though you can save 5% and help out the channel by buying it in the link down in the description.
The unit weighs 18 pounds, making it very easy to carry around. It can operate using either 110 or 220 volts, making it ideal for the home shop. It has high frequency start, so getting your arc going is easy. It has button control on the TIG handle to control your arc, but no foot pedal. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't support a foot pedal at all, so that's something to consider. Simple control panel on the front. Argon port and on and off switch on the back. Comes with all the basics: a ground clamp, an electrode holder for stick welding, and a handpiece for TIG welding, plus a few little collets and argon cups and hose and some other odds and ends like that. But, and this is only reasonable, all the consumables, filler rod, stick rod, regulator, tungsten electrodes, all that stuff, you're on your own.
Real quick here, guys, if you've been enjoying all the free content I've been offering on YouTube for the past 15 years and you want to give back to the channel, there's a way. It's called Patreon. All my Patreon supporters at any pledge level get plans to most of my builds, plus other bonuses for higher pledge levels, plus you get the good feeling of helping out the channel. So help us, help you. Link in the cards and description. Thanks, and now back to work. Very important point, this welder runs TIG DC only. That means it is not made to weld aluminum, which is normally run AC. Now, Vevor does have a more expensive model that does, I think it's called the 6-in-1 or something. Anyway, they do have a more expensive model that does both DC and AC. This ain't it. Sorry, no aluminum, kids. I tested all 3 modes and they all work.
Cycle the functions with this button here, and then you control other parts with various other buttons on the front. Right here, stick welding. What I learned about the stick welding function is that I suck at stick welding, but the welder works fine. You can vary the amperage with this wheel right here, but that's about all you do with stick, besides cuss a lot when your electrode sticks to whatever you're welding. I had never stick welded before I tried out this unit, practiced a little bit, not very good at it, bit of a pain in the neck, honestly. Here's what I was practicing on. It's not pretty. Here's a lovely weld I made on this forging die. Now, some of the ugliness, of course, is my own lack of skill, but some of this is the type of welding rod that I used. There are a variety available, and some of them make for prettier welds than others. This was the very first practical weld I made with this machine, and even though it's not pretty, I'm confident it's going to hold up to the demands of this particular application.
So let's turn to the real reason that I bought this, which is TIG. Now, I tested the TIG side much more extensively than I did stick. Obviously, I didn't buy this to have a stick welder anyway, so, you know, TIG makes sense just from that perspective, but also TIG is much more complicated than stick, I mean, from the operational standpoint. So there was a lot more to test and a lot more to figure out. It's also technically more difficult than MIG or flux core, which I have experience with. So weigh that if you're considering what kind of welder you want to get. TIG welding is not a hack, it's not a cheat code, it's a skill.
Anyway, after a little practice, I made a couple projects, including this post vise stand. It's not finished here, but you get the idea. And finally, once I got a little confidence, I used the welder on a run of knife making vices that I'm manufacturing. Bottom line, even though the welds are not super beautiful yet, I'm confident they're plenty functional to make these projects and products work well. And I can tell you for sure, even with my pathetic level of skill, they already look better than the flux core welds that I get with my Lincoln. Virtually no spatter, much more control, just basically better. Now, I never welded any stainless or tool steel, I never did any brazing, any of that cute stuff. All the welding I did with this unit was with mild steel. I see no reason that it wouldn't do the fancy stuff just fine, but I never tried it. I should mention that I tested both conventional TIG and pulse welding, which basically is just a wrinkle on standard TIG, which automatically varies the amperage up and down, allowing you to kind of drive the weld bead down your filler rod. Conventional TIG, you just adjust the voltage with the little wheel. Pulse, you can adjust the low and high, and you can also adjust the frequency of the pulses. Now, honestly, I'm not a good enough welder to conclude much about the pulse feature other than the fact that it obviously works and does what it's supposed to do.
So that's about it, really. Summing it up, as I said, I'm not a pro welder, so in terms of the nuances of performance here, I don't have much useful to say. And I can't tell you how it, compares to $2,000 pro welders. However, for me, it's clearly got plenty of headroom. This welder will weld better than I have the skill to use it for. So, there's a lot of improvement in my own game that's available on this machine before I ever have to think about buying something more expensive. I never had any problems with the Vevor right out of the box. I mean, it just did exactly what it was supposed to do. The documentation, which was pretty standard, sketchy Chinese, documentation, says that you should have a 50 amp circuit. I mean, I ran it primarily on a 20 amp, 110 volt breaker, and I never once tripped the breaker. It'll run a little higher amperage if you go to 220, and probably, maybe, I don't know for sure, has a longer duty cycle. At a certain point, all welders will shut off if they start to overheat. But for what I was seeing, I didn't see a ton of difference between 110 and 220. So, is this thing gonna last forever? Would you wanna buy it if you're a pro welder? I mean, probably not. But if you just need something light duty, if you're looking to get your foot in the door of TIG, if you want a stick welder that you can occasionally go out on the job site or the field or the farm or whatever, or if you want to do some light duty home auto body work, or if you're like me, you're a knife maker, you're looking to, make cleaner welds, on no flux Damascus billets, or make knife making tools, or repair, just random stuff around the shop. I mean, this might be exactly what you're looking for. As I said, don't buy this if you're looking to weld aluminum. It will not do it. And the other reservation, is as far as I can tell anyway, there's no way to run a foot pedal here, which would give you more flexibility about how you hold and manipulate the handle, because this you have to run with the button, whereas if you use a foot pedal, you can choke up on it or use all kinds of different grips. But, otherwise, basically the way I look at it, you're getting a stick welder with TIG capability thrown in for free, or vice versa, however you want to look at it. And look, it's not even $200. But, the flip side, you want to do TIG, as I said, you're going to be spending a bunch more money on consumables. But that's true almost no matter what kind of welding you do. So, with the caveat that what I know about welding would fit in a mayonnaise jar, I'm just ecstatic about this welder. It's just doing everything I had hoped for. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and keep on making those knives, or making whatever it is you're making. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what we're doing here, please subscribe and make sure that you click on that bell so you get notified of all the latest videos. Want to buy a knife from me? Check out my modern blades at tacticsarmory.com. Digging the channel? You can support our video making efforts on Patreon. I've been banging away on these videos for like 10 years, so I hope you'll show some love for all that hard work. Link in the cards and descriptions. Finally, if you're interested in making Japanese swords, check out my full line of Japanese sword videos where I show how to forge Japanese swords as well as how to polish them and how to make fittings, handles, and scabbards. WalterSorrellsBlades.com.